I have strongly mixed feelings.
Greetings, fellow mortals. Just a reminder saying it's just my opinion is for cowards. Have you ever had a perfectly greasy cheeseburger, one that is just oozing with juice and cheese, one that you can tell is a heart attack waiting to happen, one that you know that you're going to regret later?
I've made a huge mistake.
You take one single bite and it is simultaneously delicious and terrible at the same time because all of that grease makes your dopamine centers fire, but it also makes you gag at the same time to the point where you need to chug water and shove fries into your mouth to tolerate the next bite.
This ends now.
Netflix's Fixed is that cheeseburger to a T. It is that giant, oozing mess that you found at a hole-in-the-wall restaurant. That burger that you really don't want to eat all that often, but you get that craving for sometimes. Like Taco Bell. Sometimes you just want the worst food imaginable and to be on the toilet for hours on end. I cannot, in good conscience, tell you that Fixed is in any way a decent or good story. I don't even know if I could recommend it at all to anyone. It is without a doubt memorable though, but not in a really positive way at times. There were a few things that I didn't need to see.
Ew! Well, time to erase that forever.
Despite its many flaws though, I finished Fixed with a surprisingly positive note. Perhaps the good aspects of the movie overcome the many flaws, so much so that I can stand up and outright say that
I liked it.
But I have no real way to recommend this to someone because it is complete and utter trash about half the time. The runtime is way too long, almost agonizingly so, and it feels like the creators are actively trying to make you grossed out, uncomfortable, and cringe at several different points.
What the hell is that?
If you're confused by this assessment and wondering why in the world I even liked the film, well, I can explain it very simply. Fixed in no possible world has any right to be animated this perfectly. This very well might be some of the best animation I've seen this year, period.
It's beautiful.
The character designs, the backgrounds, and most importantly, the movement is so butterly smooth and perfect that I can't justify it with words, especially the facial expressions. It's one of the hardest things to animate that even the highest budgets in the world can't seem to help with, and yet this dumb dog Fixed movie managed to do it perfectly. I am shocked by that.
You ever notice that sometimes whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you never see their lips moving?
Huh. I didn't notice that.
I cannot stress this enough. Every character oozes personality whenever they move and talk. The shifts are constant. If someone is speaking, they're moving too, in very dramatic ways. I love that aspect of this. In that sense, in terms of raw animation quality, Fixed is a 10 out of 10. It is mind-blowing without a hint of AI in it. I am so impressed. Now, if only the writing didn't suck epic donkey balls.
Oh, that's real nice.
Okay, I might be acting a bit too harsh on that sense. Let me start at the beginning with the premise. Bull is a 2-ish-year-old dog who is yet to be neutered, unlike the vast majority of the dogs at his dog park. This changes, however, when his family starts acting too nicely to him, outright declaring their intent to take his balls away from him.
Ooh. Did I miss? No. You got them.
So he decides to make the most of the time that he has left to enjoy his testicles, enjoying one final evening and trying to declare his love to his next door neighbor, Honey, who is a show dog while he is a mutt. And if I gave you 3 chances to guess the plot beat by beat without any more context, I would bet that you would get 90% of it correct.
Uh-oh, Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. No, no.
Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it.
Now, being predictable isn't always a bad thing. I, in fact, did a whole video about how predictability isn't bad, but that relationship did not click at all. It's not as though the characters were bad, but it just lacked chemistry, meaning that I in no way cared about the romance really, half of the driving point of the story, so that's part of the problem.
Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care.
The other part of the story is the despair that Bull feels about his inevitable fate, but I actually wanted him to lose his nuts. One, because he was humping anything and everything, and two, because those things were being flashed at the screen at every single possible chance, in excruciating detail, along with the dog buttholes. So many animal buttholes. So I was completely apathetic or outright against the main character's goals. That does not make a good plot or a good story unless we have a villain protagonist, and Bull is not a villain. At the same time, I do have to say that I actually enjoyed the characters. Their personalities were funny, their interactions were humorous, I liked them, but that might just because the animation was so good to give them such intense personalities.
Pretty gruesome, huh?
I've seen worse.
Same thing with the other animals and the humans. They fit their personalities well. Special shout out to the cats. I think that they were the funniest part of the film, but the humans' obsession with their pets hit pretty home for a guy with 2 cats and a dog.
And stop Spider-Man.
But that leads to the humor, and I will outright say that it was a coin flip for me. Over 50% of the comedy is crassness and obscenities, just outright crudeness. Now, if this was 15 years ago, I would have found it all hilarious as a teenager or a kid, but considering that I've worked on construction sites and in warehouses since I was a brat, it's kind of lost its edge for me. There were about 3 or 4 jokes that involved, how would YouTube approve of this, intimate moments that actually had me laughing at the absurdity of it all, even at the climax of the movie. For some reason, I could not stop laughing at this. If you watch this film, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I thought it was funny, but it was hilarious. I was dying.
That's not funny. That's not...
But most of that side of the comedy made me just grimace. Of course, there's the other half of the equation with the comedy. You remember BoJack Horseman's random animal humor? That was the funniest part of that show, and that's the funniest part of this film. The commentary on animal habits and our weird reactions to them always made me laugh, which might not be fair because I'm a giant animal lover, so I'm biased.
I have done nothing wrong, ever, in my life.
I know this. And I love you.
Bull's family especially got me with how they reacted to him. You can tell that they love him even when he was misbehaving. You don't love your dog if you don't cuss them out when they randomly bark at the Amazon driver at the other house. It's not even in our damn driveway, Winter. Please stop barking.
Hey, shut up! No, you shut up!
Yeah, the reason I even watched this was because of the animals. It's a weakness of mine, like with Strays. Put a bunch of talking animals in a comedy and I am there. So I would have watched it no matter what, but I am glad that it had good parts.
Oh, I forgot how bad it looks.
I've seen worse.
Because that animation, wow, they really could have phoned it in. They gained nothing from this level of detail. Every scene had me glued to the screen because of how expressive every character was. I know that I can't let this go, but it's just amazing. It's what endeared me to the movie.
I am shocked. Shocked!
Look, I despise the live action remakes. I miss quality animation. AI really pisses me off. Fixed had dedication, talent, and passion put into every single frame. With the rise of AI and CGI, I have to praise this to the ends of the earth. It puts everything else to shame. even if some of the stuff that was animated was ridiculous and sometimes gross. At least they didn't show vomit though. They drew the line there, which I thank them for. I hate when I'm shown the process of vomiting. Just put it off screen with the noises, please.
I didn't need to see that.
But they showed almost everything else. Pee, poop, blood. Thankfully, no aftermath from the intimate moments or the insertion part. That wasn't there at least. But I did get frustrated with how I was so into the animation, and then I had to flinch back whenever a butthole was shoved at me.
Get away from me!
Same thing with the humor. Either something made me howl with laughter or made me wish that I wasn't watching this or wasn't even on this planet anymore. The plot sucked, but the characters were fun. There was so much give and take with Fixed. Nothing was ever just good, except the backgrounds and the settings. Those were flawless. I gotta give them that, especially the lighting. They did a great job with that, wow.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Let me put it this way, if you combined King of the Hill's writing while getting rid of the bad animation from the last season and fixed animation while taking away some of the bad humor, we would have the perfect adult animation. Don't forget that King of the Hill isn't above poop jokes. They were just funnier in the new season. Fixed is so in the middle ground. It is so average because the good and the bad weigh about evenly. They're so extreme. It's either so good that it's amazing or it's so bad that it's one of the worst things that I've ever seen. But I did end up feeling positively about it by the time the credits started. And I think it's because that this film isn't at least a bitter, hateful mess. It at least feels like it's trying to have fun and trying to entertain you.
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me.
There are a lot of adult animations out there which feel like they hate themselves and their audiences. Fixed didn't have that problem. It was fun. It was unapologetically itself, and it didn't compromise on what it thought was funny. Only half of that comedy hit with me. Some of it felt like Has-Been Hotel, where you just drop F-bombs every 2 seconds to try to be funny, but I respect the creators for following through with their vision at the very least. They were uncompromising. If you think that crude humor is the funniest thing ever and love the outlandish, this is perfect for you. If you adore animation and love studying it, you will get something out of this. If you love animals, you will like those parts. There are plenty of things that most people would enjoy, it's just that the extremely bad parts just kind of take away from it all.
Here, have a look. Good.
I think a little bit more restraint would have forced the writing to be a bit more creative and witty. It would have flushed the romance out and not made me wish that Bull would just get taken to the vet already. Cut those damn balls off. I am tired of seeing them. Death to Old Spice and Napoleon.
Bad news.
What?
The Dacia Sandero. It's delayed.
Oh no. Anyway, last week...
But that's just kind of how adult content works. Not just that, all forms of entertainment really. Someone needs to have the job to come in to tell the creators if they're going too far. I hate censorship, but we do need someone with a logical brain to say like, hey, we're over the line. Just take it back a step. Fixed definitely went too far for me, and I'm going to assume for a lot of people. I can only imagine my wife's face if she watched this with me.
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it!
Fixed is undoubtedly beautiful, but it's also a giant mess bordering on trash, on complete garbage. It needed a couple of rewrites, but I will never stop praising the animators. Unfortunately, writing is kind of king of everything, like I said with my previous video on King of the Hill. So I wish that the animators weren't forced to show so many holes and balls. Oh my god.
I may have gone too far in a few places.
But what do you think? Did you like Fixed? Are you going to watch it? Does the good animation overcome the very mediocre writing and the crude humor? Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, if you disagree with everything I have to say, that is perfectly fine. After all, everyone is entitled to their objectively wrong opinion.
Oh, I am honored! And at the same time humiliated. So thank you and curse you.
Thank you all so much for watching.
You're still here?
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. You bye. Boom.
Do not despair.